What is going on, everybody? I drove over the spillway here behind the lake and they're cranking some water out. Since I had a couple hours to kill, I figured I'd get down here, see if I could catch some white bass or sand bass. Probably should be fishing for some flatheads the way they got this water running. But all I got is a couple little jig poles and some of these jigs. That's just a 1/16 ounce underspin with a little silver flake jig. That's all I got in my car. I don't really got time to drive back and get no big poles. So we're gonna work what we got. We're gonna get down here right at the base of those stairs and just run a jig through there. See if we can pull some sand bass out of there. Maybe a crappie or two, that'd be nice. Let's see if there's any sand bass out here. Or white bass. Y'all people call them different things. Oh, there's something out there. See if we can get one to bite. Something stacked out there thick if I'm bumping it as I reel through. Fishing with such a light jig that I really need to let it sink for a while. That's just a 1/16 ounce jig, so it takes a minute to get down where it needs to be in this swift water. I hung something. I don't know what that was. Probably a big old carp. Something right there. Let's let it sink right down in front of us. There we go. You got to be kidding me. I ain't never caught a roll of baling wire before in my life. Surely I ain't hitting rolls of baling wire. There we go. What do we got? What do we got? It's a little sand bass. It'd take 25 of them that size to make a meal. But there ain't no limit on them. So maybe we'll fool around and catch 25. I wonder if there's a whole bunch of them little ones stacked in there. I wonder if that's the bumps I'm feeling. I'm bumping something. Here we go. Well, that is like slightly bigger than the last one. And I mean slightly. But chipping away at it. Man, that light jig, you got to go so slow with it. If I reel too fast with this swift water, it just skip right across the top. I suppose I could put two of them on there. The added weight might pull it on down. That ought to pull it on down there to where we need it to be. Let's try that. Feels heavier when I cast it. I may be going all the way under them now. I ain't even bumping nothing. Try a little faster retrieve. There we go. All right. That only took 2 casts. These are not very big sand bass. But I'm hoping there's a lot of them out there. I think I'm fixing to go over to the other side. Right up against that wall is a good place to catch crappie and sand bass, but there's people over here. They're moving out over there, so maybe I can get around before anybody else gets over there. Let's try it. What do we make out with? I got 4 of them right here. I'm back. All I accomplished on the other side is breaking one of my rods by closing the tip in the door and catching one little bitty sand bass. They got these gates opened at a disproportionate proportionate rate, so they're letting more water out this side than they are the other side. So the seam is over here, or at least the seam that I could cast to. So we're gonna get back down here where I know there's some fish and see if we can just nickel and dime them. Good thing I had 2 rods and reels in the back of my car. At least I know there's some fish over here. I'll have to figure out how to catch them, but I know they're over here. Can't believe that I shut that reel or that rod in that door. We're gonna talk about a dumb move. There we go. That's a bigger fish, whatever it is. There we go. Trying to catch a mess of those. Quit nickel and diming them little bitty ones. We're moving in the right direction. We come out here sometimes, catch these old white bass 2 at a time, take home 100 of them. Today is not one of those days, it looks like. Oh, maybe it is one of those days, I don't know. That one choked it. Maybe we just needed to figure out how they were biting. That's another decent one. Maybe it's a good thing I broke my old ugly stick. Switch reels. This one's got a different retrieve rate. Seem to be doing better with it. Another small one. It's all right. We're not discriminating today. There we go. That one was like, as soon as it hit the water. Little bitty boogers. Y'all think I can't get a flay off that, but I can. There we go. That's a nice fish, whatever it is. Probably a drum. That feels big. What we got? That was gar or something. Hope he lets me have my jig back. Yeah, he did. I'm glad he come off there. I didn't feel like messing with him. He was hooked in the mouth. That's the first fish I've hung today that wasn't a white bass. Sure was hoping that was a big old 4-pound sand bass. There we go. That's a nicer fish too. See what it is before we get excited. Oh, it's a sand bass. Pulling like a champ. There we go. I don't know how many I'm up to, but the cool thing is I don't have to keep track. There ain't no limit. I like fishing with them fish. They ain't got no limit on them. I don't have to worry about them boys in the green pants slipping up and counting. I'm kidding, I don't make mistakes. I keep good count. Can't afford to make a mistake. They are pricey. You do got to pay attention when you're fishing for these white bass and make sure that you don't accidentally throw a little striper or two in your bucket. You can keep them, but there are a limit on the striped bass, and they look kind of the same. Not exactly. Little old sand bass. If you're unsure, just open their mouth. Look at their tooth patch. There's no way y'all gonna be able to see that. But a sand bass has one round or heart-shaped tooth pouch on his tongue. Striper and hybrids have two. Look like a deer foot. So if their tooth patch looks like a deer foot instead of a circle, it's a striper. Surefire way to tell. And the Gameborns, they'll go by that too, because that's how it says to identify them in their reg books. I'll see if I can get a picture in the reg book and show y'all what I'm talking about. It's usually how I fish for crappie. That real slow retrieve with a little bump here and there. I ain't caught a crappie yet. They're in here. They sure ain't having it though, not today. Wish I could cast just a little bit further. About 10 foot further. I don't know that it'd do me any good, but I do see a lot of fish rolling about 10 foot further than what I can cast. Oh, there's something. Oh, that is a crappie. We've been looking for one of them all morning. I'm wondering why it wasn't fighting real hard. Oh, I'm gonna drop it. Get in the bucket. Can't be losing him. There we go. I was beginning to think they didn't exist in here. Boy, I'd sure like to tie into about 15 of those. I mean, usually when I'm out here fishing for white bass, I always catch a crappie or two, but I hadn't today. Usually when I come out here for crappie, I can't stay out of the sand bass. Well, I am just about to run out of time. We caught a few though. Oh, I got something. All right, come loose. Well, one of them little sand bass picked it up. About time for a new jig. Oh, I've got to that point where I just want to catch one more, and then I catch one more, I'm like, I got time for just one more. And then a minute turns into 10 minutes. Surely y'all have been there. Oh, there we go. There we go. What do we got? That's a in between, but that was the one more I've been looking for. That's what I'm talking about. Ended up with a bucket full of them. I am about to clean everything up and get out of here. I appreciate y'all watching. We're gonna try to do some more fishing. I see some people down here catching some catfish, so we're gonna try to get down here next. day or two and do a little catfishing if I can find a day when I got a little room to fish, you know. So we'll get these fish home, get them clean. Like I said, I appreciate y'all watching. We will catch you next time.